Welcome to another episode of Humanly Plausible with your hosts, Roly and Richard from the Pink Collective.
The revolution, y'all, will not be
I mentioned my son before.
So we're back with another Humanly Plausible podcast. Today with us, I have an old friend, really old friend, intern. That I met via intern at an agency that we both worked, John Saunders.
Yes.
So John Saunders, so you own 5-4 Digital, and I know you got other things going on. You have your stock art, which is really cool. You don't even know about that.
I do know about it because I did my research, man. And I
really wanted it. So.
Yeah, absolutely, okay, cool. Because I think he's filling a space.
That?
He's filling a space that we desperately need representation. Yeah,
of course. So John D. Saunders here. Thank you guys for having me first and foremost.
Absolutely.
This is an honor. I met Roly when I was 19,
We're
20,
babies.
Intern. He was the creative director of the agency doing really dope stuff. And he just opened up to me and really taught me a lot of things about the space and how to use creativity and leverage that to create really dope stuff. So thank you. Kudos to you on that, man. And so, I run 5-4 Digital. It's a branding, web design, and development agency. We work primarily with startups, usually Series A, Series B. Some clients include Firelight Films. They've had some films on Netflix, Amazon, and some other clients, which is still mind-boggling to me, but it's really cool stuff. And then also, I run a business called Black Illustrations.
That's right.
It features illustrations of people of color in STEM, design, agriculture. Yeah. So it really takes illustrations and creates a diverse look and opportunity for people that are building websites, doing presentations, so that they can create content that resonates with them. I also run a really cool startup with my son called Glowing Cheetah Studios, where we create video games, with our first game being released in the end of the year called Pigeon's Mission. He's 6 years old, so my son sketched out all the ideas, the concepts, the story.
That's amazing.
And he's getting his start in entrepreneurship, which is really cool.
Awesome.
So there's that. And then I'm just a huge proponent of financial literacy and investing. And so, I'm an open book, man. I just want to really provide value and chat and chop it up and get this going.
Again, that's why I thought he was a good guest.
No, it's amazing.
He covers a lot.
Yeah.
And, so we're in like our third season now, Humanly Plausible. So I apologize for waiting this long to get you on.
Nah, man, it's all good.
But it's just like good. Life is hectic and insane. Yeah. But like John, one of the things about John is like, so here I have my 17-year-old intern. And it was funny because I think at the time I met you, we just were having him. We just had Gavin. And so what I remember about John is like he was like the eager beaver, just so to see what he is now, I think it's good for my 17-year-old son to see what that is like. And so John is the evidence of somebody that has put the time and the effort, and he made it. Like, you got interns that just sit around.
Yeah.
No, dude, this guy every day, like, I don't even know, like, you were interning there. Like, I don't think you were interning under me. But
no, I wasn't.
This guy was in.
I was like the general intern, whatever people needed. I was like, what do you guys need? I'm here.
He was up in everybody's business. He's like, what do you do? How do you do it? What is it that you do? And that's the way he was. And that's what I remember specifically about John. We ended up working, like, I actually hired him on different assignments. And we worked together just because the impression then I was like, you know what, this guy, bro, I just love the ethic and the drive behind that. And so it's awesome to see you, where you're at.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
So I got a question because bring into that whole thing, and we never know who's watching. Why, as an intern, what was it about you and your personality and your motivation that got you to take the most out of that opportunity?
Yeah, I always felt like I worked at the bank for 4 years, and I wanted to be in the creative space. And I read books. David Ogilvy's
I remember that.
Ogilvy on Advertising was the first book I read, and I just was always a creative, always loved to draw. So I wanted to get into that space as much as possible. And I applied at maybe 30 or 40 jobs. None of them hired me. I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to get a job in this space. What can I do? I don't have the experience. So I was like, well, let me try and do some internships. I got an internship with you guys, and I was like, okay, I know which department I want to be in, which was your department. I want to be on the creative side. You were the creative director. You were creating all these dope presentations and storyboards. I'm like, yo, I want to do this. Like, I want to be a part of this because I'll be able to leverage all the things that I grew up loving in my job and get paid. So it was really me trying to break into that space, learn as much as possible, and Roly was just really receptive to that. So I was like, okay, bet, I'm gonna go in, and whatever you guys need, even if someone else is like, yo, go print 500 copies of this, okay, bet, I'm on it. And it was unpaid too, so I was like, listen,
you were fully unpaid?
Yeah, I did 2 internships, 2 years, unpaid.
You see,
That's
you hearing this, Gavin?
Yeah,
No, yeah, but still,
Now,
like
yeah,
that.
but
That
yeah, man,
shows
it was unpaid.
the drive and
Yeah.
what the payoff looks like. So that's awesome. That
And I think that's why I wanted to ask the question, because I think that, hearing that, I think sometimes, and I don't want to make this a generational thing, but as much as it is just really people evaluating, I have a goal, I have an idea, you knew what you wanted to do, but what are you willing to do to get there?
Yeah.
Are you willing to make that sacrifice?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes to like delayed gratification nowadays, especially because we're all so connected to our phones. It's instantaneous, right? You want to go into an app, you want to see something, it's all instantaneous. The TikTok algorithm is probably the best algorithm I've ever seen, like in my life. It knows exactly what you want. It's easy to go through the feed. So that delayed gratification has kind of gone by the wayside for everyone because we're all so used to getting stuff instantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good point. All right, so I think because we can keep talking with him, but we got to jump into this grenade here that we're about to
What's in the
unpin.
box? What's in the box?
So this is our out of the box component of the podcast.
We've been working on it right now. It kind of a little raggedy. But
Yeah,
I like it, man.
it's
coming
evolving.
around.
It's evolving.
Listen, the branding looks great. The branding looks great.
That's the one thing we can control.
the execution. Well, we can talk about that.
And
later.
the quality of the box has been in debate. So we're finna move on up a little bit, with this new
I
box.
got you.
So what we're gonna do is
You don't need to shake it. He always shakes
I like
it.
to shake it
Bro,
because
he
it
always
makes
shakes
it feel
You gotta
like
shake it.
we're making it even more random. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as mentioned, they're AI generated, so we don't know what it is. So
Just grab one.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
This is all communication related in the
John's
organization.
shaking it. He's even shaking it more.
All right, here we go. So I read it out.
Of course.
Okay. How can organizations create effective internal communication strategies to improve employee engagement? Ooh.
So that was kind of on the. So we were just recently talking about internal culture. And how that connects with the brand external values.
But remember, you ended that conversation about talking about communications.
Yes.
So it's almost like this is part 2 of that conversation.
So we have, how can organizations create effective internal communication strategies to improve employee engagement? So this is interesting because you harp on and you're big on creating all these teams externally and like how that is very possible. So in today's day, like we were just talking about it, like how now it's like, I'm trying to find a balance to that because it's funny. It's something that you've been preaching about for a long time. It's come to reality. It's like, I told you guys, I told you, but so now we can look at this both ways.
Yeah.
So how can we create effective internal communication? So, and we can look at this from the physical or the external. I think there's a lot to be spoken there of. So who wants to jump on this first?
Who wants to go first?
I'm going to guess, if you had some initial thoughts and then we could build on that.
Yeah,
I'm
I can do
curious.
that. Yeah, so just to preface this with the way that our agency's set up, we're completely like async. So we have about 9 like core team members, and then we have maybe 15, including like independent contractors on our team. Everybody is remote. We have team members in Cali, New York, South America, Africa. We just hired a designer from Uganda, a UI UX designer, Europe. So we're completely async in that respect. So sometimes you all know communication can be one person's on working at 2 a.m., one person's working at 8 p.m. So a few ways we get our team to work cohesively is we set certain times of the week where certain departments will be on. So for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's myself and our client manager and our quality assurance specialist. We all jump on a call. We talk about the projects that are being worked on. We talk about what's in the queue, what needs to be delegated to the design and development team. And so then the client manager goes and delegates to the designers and developers, and they also convey any updates to the clients. So they control kind of both sides, almost like a PM client manager hybrid. The quality assurance individual, she works on going through all the sites, going through anything in regards to like quality assurance to make sure it's clear, make sure it's concise. And then, as you all know, with communication with remote teams, sometimes it can get like someone to just go off the radar or they're not communicating or you don't know where they are. So we'll have like a monthly kind of team check-in where it's just like, hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
We just check in. Everybody's on the call. We're not even talking about like specific clients. We're just kind of checking in with everyone. We ask a series of questions like, what can we do better? What can we improve on? So those are ways that we really try to improve communication. And then the last piece we have is we have a fun channel in Slack. So anytime someone, we kind of know everyone's hobbies and things they're working on. So if someone's away for the weekend, they'll post like a picture, or if they're watching a really cool show or movie, they'll post it. So it's a really great way for us to be able to talk and communicate in real time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we use Slack too. So I mean, I think that's a good way to, because that's, we were just talking about like how the company culture gets affected when, there's not a lot of that physical. I can tell you that Richard is one person that he likes physical interaction. I mean, so do I. I like to be physically present. Yeah. I honestly, I just started going out and networking again because I missed that. And so
100%.
So I try to do a lot of Zooms with the team versus just a call. There's a lot of times I could just make a call, but
we Zoom a lot. Yeah.
We Zoom a lot. Yeah. But yeah, just having that work, I think having something that people can count on, because I think that's, back in the old agency life, that's what we did. We met every morning and it was like, hey, we would huddle in the morning and it was normal. Now I feel like, oh, why are we going to waste time? Now I think that's, from my perspective, I feel like there's a lot of wasting time, but I need to also, check myself, and it's not really
relationship building.
Exactly. That it's not completely waste. There's something that's needed.
And, I was just thinking as you were speaking, I think in advertising, marketing, I think we adapted to having a remote structure maybe before a lot of other industries, because, people have been using, people in other places for a long time to support them from technology and things of that nature. But there are some industries right now, and I know I've been seeing a lot of articles where they're trying to get people to come back to the office now, and they're like pushing back like, nah, I'm good. What, based on what you've done in managing and creating that sense of community virtually, what would you say has been the most important thing? Like if you were speaking to one of these companies that were struggling, hey, it looks like we're trying to get them to come back in. We're getting a lot of pushback. We may need to make this our new reality going forward. Based on what you've been doing, what would you advise them to do in terms of helping to build that sense of community?
Yeah, I think if your team is worldwide distributed and you're on different time zones, for example, I think there should be certain hours of overlap where everybody's online. So maybe from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., everybody should have a window of you're online, and anyone that needs to communicate in real time can do so.
That's a great point.
I think it really helps for people that just need a response quickly and efficiently. And then we also do quick Slack huddles, so you can jump in a huddle.
Yeah. There's
a lot of meetings going on without even my input because team members are either in the same time zone or in the same area. So my second recommendation would be try to create a team that maybe shares a time zone. So for example, one of our clients, they're in the SaaS space. His team is in Mexico City. So he has like 10 or 15 team members there. They're all literally in one area in Mexico City. So he can tap them and they're all available and they all work in the same department, so they can pass on jobs, pass on tasks pretty easily and efficiently. And then, I think those are two recommendations that would probably help folks in regards to that. The last piece I would say is you have to have some type of physical representation. Like you got to meet in person, because I've been there, man. It's like at one point it was like 6 months and I had like gone out for a meeting. And it's like if you work from home, even if it's your office, you work from home, you have delineated your space, right? That's your space for your office. Your kids come home. You're always home. There's no like outlet. Right? You're not speaking to people. You kind of almost lose that ability to have a conversation in real time. And
my wife gets mad at me because I start getting chatty and I'm like, hey, I don't know. She's
right. She's like, well, take it easy.
Yes, because she gets.
Let me tell you.
Same, man. My wife, she works at the stadium, so she's around her friends. They're having lunch. Like us, we're like literally like,
right.
Got that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's one of those things where it's like you got to have that physical representation. If you have a worldwide team, you can do annual retreats. Where you maybe like we're doing one next year in the Philippines, where we're gonna have the whole team. You rent out a house, people can bring like their significant others, and then you spend 3 or 4 days just hanging out. Maybe you have 1 or 2 meetings while you're there, but the rest of the time is just getting to know each other, because all it takes, and I've seen this happen, is to meet a person physically one time to foster that relationship where it's like, you talk online, but once you meet them physically, it's a different
bridges.
dynamic.
I think it's the
It
bridge.
definitely
Final
does.
way.
I think you're 100% right with that. And I think you dropped some serious gems because I think companies are struggling with that and that sense of being disconnected yet trying to achieve a common goal becomes really, really difficult without paying attention to that. Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because, I mean, at this point, you're an expert at it because you have been telling me this since the beginning. Like, you've been saying, like, you know, how you can, I guess from the beginning you started your agency, you were talking about, like, how virtually you can create an agency. You don't need to be physical. And you always stuck to that. And now you're like, that's it. Like, you're above, you're ahead of the game, you know? You're an expert. So, like, you know, all these different things is interesting because now I'm like taking notes. I'm like, damn.
It is. And, you know, but it's, you know, sometimes you want to fight the way things are evolving. Yeah. You know, I want to maintain, no, we have to, but,
especially when you're raised old school, you know, I was raised old school, old agency, lifestyle. Like, I didn't want to see that go, bro. So I think that's part of like the therapy here in today's session. Is like
it is, and
I'll tell you the truth, man.
Well, yeah, this is a technology intervention because, in a sense, you know, and I think there are a lot of people out there that can benefit from this. Is that's a fight you're not going to win. And I think some of the recent articles that have been coming out, I forgot which company it was, where they recently said they wanted people to come back, and 2/3 of their people said if you don't come back to the office, you're no longer eligible for raises or promotions. Wow. And 2/3 of their people said, we're good. Then we don't need raises or promotion. Wow. I'd rather have the quality of life that I have right now.
And you got to think too, like if you're going into the office, that's gas, that's time, that's a babysitter for your kids, that's health. I mean, there's so many different things to add to it. A 10 to 15, 20K is not enough for you to be like, I'm coming back. Like, no, man. Because my thing and the way that I run the agency is like, I don't really manage folks' time. As long as the tasks in our project management platform are getting done, like, hey, I don't care if you're on the beach, if the work looks great, if the client loves it, like, I'm fine with that. And, you know, some employers, they want to know what you're doing at every moment.
Right.
Now, I do think some businesses, it's good to be in physical. Like, I can't name any off the top of my head specifically. Now, I mean, of course, most service-based businesses, home service-based businesses. But, I mean, in our industry, I feel like it's a good idea to maybe fly to a client quarterly and just check them out, visit them. But as long as you're keeping steady communication and you can convey your ideas and vice versa, I think.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this post-COVID era brought on, like, you know, signing clients that I never even met in person. Like, I never done that.
Isn't that crazy, man?
I like signing somebody and like, okay.
It does feel weird.
That I didn't have to pitch anybody. Like, I didn't have to go in the room and show them.
Yeah.
I think it's good you said that because I feel like COVID inadvertently, like, I don't know the best way to say this, but it propelled us into that space.
It did.
Yeah.
Before, no one's going to pay you 20, 30, 40, 10, 5K. Without meeting you in person, shaking your hand.
Absolutely.
Now, they'll write you a check. Boom, here's 20. Okay, let's start.
Right.
Like it's.
Well, I mean, when we moved to Hollywood, in that office, I don't know if I told you that, but like the big idea behind that office was that I wanted something to match my proposals. So when I sat a client down in the conference room, that I put a proposal there, and they didn't flinch. They were like, they would open it up and be like, "That's what I figured," and they would sign it, and that was the end of that. That's gone. I don't need that anymore. It's like now it's just, you know, people now it's more about like what you're saying. Can you meet the demand and can you deliver? And then based on that, I think it's becoming more about that. And I think we were just talking about you brought up like Basecamp that I was at. So like even like for us, I think the way like we communicate internally and then how we communicate with the client is even becoming more important. So there's definitely, it's a new world. But for me, I think like I was telling you before, like cultivating young talent is still a thing because like first of all, and Richard knows this, I don't hire just any designer. Like I have a specific thing that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if you can know how to design, there's something different that I'm looking for.
It's hard to find a good designer.
So like, a lot of times what we did before is like I went to FAU. I started to cultivate people from FAU, and people that I saw, like not only did they have the hard skill, but I felt like they had like that thing, and they could be more the it factor. And I think I was telling Gavin, my oldest, about how I've been able to cultivate some pretty good interns. So if you're out there and you're listening, you better post some.
Hey, listen.
How are you finding your talent currently?
Nothing. Now we're just hiring experienced people. But I've been going through my old network too, and that's how I really haven't worked with anybody completely new, but we did hire our first full-time employee from South America.
Yes,
so
man, love it.
And the crazy part is that dude is our best communicator of the entire team, bro. He is the best.
Yeah.
And this guy will probably keep until like he dies.
Yeah.
Or I die.
And he's young.
Yeah, he's young.
Yes.
So I might die first, for sure.
Man,
I digress. We're not talking about that.
I'm glad you said the it factor too, because I feel like you can find for example, a designer, right? Or a UI UX person that works on sites. Like you can see the talent. Maybe they're missing certain qualities, but they're proactive. They always want to learn.
Yes.
They're reading. They're learning. They're watching YouTube videos to perfect their skills. They're telling you about new things that are coming out. That's how you know you got someone good that's going to excel. Now, people like that are great and amazing because they'll grow with you and probably ultimately start their own agency or branch off. But it's really great to be able to cultivate and work with someone like that when you hit the jackpot on someone, because then that person can help train the next person.
Of course.
It's like with us, for example, with our developer, like we have one head developer. His name is Tejas, and the guy is phenomenal, man. Like the best developer we've ever worked with. And so when we're looking for more talent, I'll ask Tejas to be like, hey, would you mind taking these and reviewing these folks? What do you think? How is their coding structure? Are they writing the HTML well? Is this a good output? And he'll literally run down the list and be like, this guy's great. She's not that great. And he'll run down the list. This person's phenomenal. Anyone that we've hired after him has been great. So once you find that like solid talent or that really great individual, they can help you just cultivate and build.
Exactly.
Well, I think you're actually broaching upon another aspect of internal communication here is that you, even though you are at a certain level in terms of the agency, it's your agency, being able to feel comfortable delegating certain tasks and saying, I trust and value your opinion and your expertise to help us make this organizational decision. Because I think that's a big part of it's communication in terms of assigning the task, but it also, I think, creates a subliminal feeling like, here, I'm actually valued. And, if you evidence a certain level of expertise, you will be valued here. So let me arise and ascend to that level so that I too can be looked at that way. And that, to a lot of people, once again, that's a value added benefit of working in a situation where that communication is supporting that kind of culture.
Yeah, and then what I learned really quick was you can't treat them like robots. So because one of the things we use Slack too as our main communication form. So in the mornings it's like, hey, good morning, what's up, guys? Kind of checking in, and I kind of just say sometimes just good morning, And he called me out on it. He's like, dude, I want to interact with you sometimes because I feel like one of the big reasons I wanted to join you guys is to learn how to work like you guys, and I'm missing out on interacting with you and how your brain thinks, and I'm like, that's right. That's the intangible that I was not thinking about because I was treating him like an AI. Hey, get me this, get me that. Because
it's so funny. The same gentleman he's talking about. Interestingly, he's an art director. He's a senior art director, and so I'm surprised sometimes. He'll
He's
be
a junior.
on.
He's a junior.
He's a junior. I thought I thought he was a senior.
Not yet,
so
I don't give away those loose.
All right, excuse me.
Bro,
I didn't get the memo.
Identify.
So, the interesting thing about him is that he'll sit in on certain client type of presentations because we just want him present there.
He's in Brazil,
and he's in Brazil.
Got it.
And I will
time zone.
Yeah.
And
then I'll get an email from him or I'll get a text or something on Slack. Hey, Rich, you guys, you mentioned a book in the presentation.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of that book because I want to get it? Or he'll say, we just did a lead nurturing presentation for a client. And, he's the junior art director. He's not concerned with lead nurturing. But sure enough, right after the meeting, hey, Rich, that presentation about lead nurturing, can you share it with me? I thought it was really interesting. I'd like to learn more. And so those are some of the, that's when you see a person has that mindset that, which I'm sure you exemplified as an intern, and that's why you're here, is that I need to soak up as much knowledge as possible. And even if it's not within my job description, the more knowledge I have, the further I'll go.
Booyah. So to bring this to a close, I think since you're the in-house expert now and building these internal communications, in your simplest version of it, like maybe you could do like 3 basic steps or things that you need to at least have in place to really have a more constructive internal communication.
One, I think you need to set up SOPs or standard operating procedures that everyone can access. These can be standard for like client onboarding, your specific processes that you run through with the client for a brand discovery or a web design project. I think it's important to have some type of like repository with your SOPs, and you can build on it with AI. Like, ChatGPT, Bard, which is Gemini now, right? You can leverage those tools to really expand and create like this cohesive knowledge base for all of the stuff in your agency. I think it's important, 1, for your team to be able to access, and then 2, if you're looking to scale out and sell, this is a package deal that you could provide to the buyer, right?
Love those words. 2,
I think just having effective software that you use and that everyone can really learn and understand. So 2 main ones for us, Slack and ClickUp. It could be Basecamp, Asana, whatever platform you want to use for project management, whatever your agency wants to do, you use that best platform, and then getting people to like actually use it. And that's one thing that I suffered from before I hired a project manager. It seems like, you have all these tasks and all these things, but no one's using it. No one's communicating through the platform. They're all like sending messages.
Richard.
Everything needs to live through the platform.
I was
dinosaur,
horrible.
Yeah.
Like Slack.
So he's too many for me. Yeah.
What is
all
this?
the channels, all the
I'm still teaching him how to put stuff in a thread, in a task.
I just got a Mac this year.
Hey, listen, it's all good, man. It's
Homie's like, hey, where do I put this again? And should I put a stamp on it?
Listen, it's one of those things, man. And then
I'm busting on Richard. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm good with it, man. I'm an old school guy.
I use freestyle.
I have a notebook. Literally, I go to
me too, man.
I write longhand notes.
Listen, I feel like now they have the remarkable and all these things, but nah, man, a fundamental, just quick. I could sketch this out. Like,
sorry, we messed you up, man.
No, man, I'm good. And the third piece is
the platforms that.
Yes, the platforms. So that includes like the project management, and then some type of like calendar integration where people can get access to it easily. So I have a chat with John link that everyone has access to. If you want to jump on a call, you have questions, you want to talk about your position, anything, you can book a time on my calendar, and it has a block of time from now until forever where you can just jump on and chat. You want to talk about, like, I have one. Pat, me and her talk about anime, right? So she'll book a call and be like, "Hey, did you see this new show?" I'm like, "Oh, this is really great." Another call might be like, "Hey, can we talk about like my compensation? I've been here for a certain amount of months. I would love to see." Okay, great. You're at your 3-month mark. We can do. So it's an open calendar where anyone can book and jump on to do it. And just having that open key of communication.
That's good.
Is key.
Awesome, man. So, man, much appreciated. I think that it's funny because the questions always kind of work out for our guest.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
perfect question.
And you gave some really good information. I think a definite takeaway is it seems that you need to be intentional in creating this communication dynamic, which then translates into the culture. I think those are really some really important points.
So we were talking about like how we can, because I was thinking of spicing up this thing even more. So we have a box. I was like thinking like, how about if we started matching people up? So like if we put John with a complete opposite, like non-technical dude, and see what would happen after they pop a question. It's like, what?
Yeah, you might get some good answers too. Like, someone outside
what's perspective? It's perspective is what I want. I think that like how we all see it differently, like in our historical path. I think that's the beauty of this, that, Richard speaks to it from where he came, how he came up, and, vice versa for all of us.
And I was just about to say, it doesn't bother me getting, about mine, because interestingly enough, that's what's been great is that, you know, Roly is super high tech, you know.
Not anymore.
Uses
Like,
words
I'm
and things
falling
that are new
behind.
to me. But it's forced me, not forced in a aggressive manner, but it's opened me to, and he's patient, you know, to expand how it is. But then again, I think, bring some old school purist beliefs to the way we do certain things, which then kind of supplements us. So they actually complement each other. So
I think it's good to have a mix of perspectives and cultures and ethnicities and everything. You know what I mean? Because then you get a more broad view, a more broad view.
100%.
Create beautiful, functional products.
And that is Humanly Plausible. That's the tagline.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Much appreciated, John.
Thank you guys.
As always, good to see
my
you,
brother,
Richie
that
Rich.
was awesome. That was great. And thank you for bringing
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir. See
Take
you guys.
care.
Cheers.
Not be televised. Oh, who we living for? Yeah, who we living for? My baby.